Alright, there we are. Hello everybody, and welcome to today's live stream. For some reason it wasn't wanting to read my camera to show you the beautiful Marder 3M that we'll be working on today. Is she not beautiful? I'm actually very excited about this because I think this time around, because it is an open top tank destroyer, I'm actually going to include the figures in this particular build. And that is very exciting to me. So let's go ahead.
I'm just checking lag.
Okay, excellent. Making sure everything looks good.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So that is what we're going to be working on today. Now, this is going to be part of a larger video that you'll see on the channel in the future. It's not going to be anything this week, but you'll probably see it in the following week, and it's all about this beautiful little tank destroyer, which I want to get started on today. So I figured why not hang out and do it with you guys, and my goodness, there are so many of you already in chat. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello to Nick, Go For Painting, Charlie, Christine, or Christian, sorry, I read your name wrong, The Eternal Crusader, Unpainted Lead Syndrome, Marky, 63, Mercarion, Sean, Military Models, Kits and Bits. Hello, hello, hello! Alright, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Oh, plastic within plastic. Excellent. Alright, let's get that out of the way, and we'll take everything out. Now, I have not looked too much at this kit as of yet, but I suspect that's going to be relatively straightforward. Okay, these look like most of our large panels, which is cool. And we have a bunch of accessories. Do I get to build? Okay, these look like these are for the treads. All right, let's grab the instructions. And we've got some okay, we've got some metal pieces as well as our decals, which who knows? Maybe this is the tank that'll finally do something with the decals. Will it happen? Probably. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure it out. We'll absolutely figure it out. No, I mean, I watched it. But no, I've not done anything specific to it. Simply took a shower. I do play some D&D. I am struggling with this box like crazy. Hold on. Alright. Oh my goodness. There we go. I almost have it. Please. Please, box. Alright, there we go. We'll put that behind me. Off to the side. And we'll start getting these things out of their bags. Yes, please do hit that like button if you're enjoying the content, you want to see more. It very much helps us out. Photo etch, yes. I always forget the term. Look at all these cool figures. I'm excited to, so I've built figures before from these kits. It's not the first time I'll have done it, but most of the time the only other time that I've really done it was specifically for the Zero that I built, the one plane that I've built. I did end up assembling all the little figures that go with that because it's just the crewmen and they don't really seem to go inside the plane. They were just add-ons, I guess for dioramas and such, which is super cool. And I have them still. I need to eventually figure out how I'm going to paint that plane and also paint them. Painting them will not be as difficult as painting the plane. The plane has the canopy assembled to it already, so I'll have to do some masking, I think. Here are our treads for our tank. Looking pretty good. They don't look like they're going to be too tough to assemble, which is nice. All right, let's set those off to the side. We'll get this open. This looks like it might be the turret for the tank. Hello, Overlord Tweak. How are you doing today? Oh, please stop getting stuck on the little staples. Yeah, so this is our turret. Well, at least one half of it. I don't know, this feels like only one half of the turret, but... Oh! Doi! It's open top, so this is probably the full turret, actually, and then we just have the bed where I think everybody stands. I don't know if that is the correct term for that, and you can correct me in the comments. Ooh! Look at these cool exhausts. I'll get them out of the plastic so you can see them better, but we've got some cool looking... Ow, I just stabbed myself on them. They're kind of sharp. Ow. I do love when my my model kits try to stab me. But look, we've got these like really cool exhaust. I wonder why there's so many. Interesting. Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out as we actually build the tank up. And then finally, we've got the wheels for the treads. Oh, is Elimination Chamber this weekend? I completely forgot. Holy cow. Holy moly. Who's even in the Elimination Chamber? I will admit that, like, for wrestling, when it comes to, like, stuff, I haven't caught up with what's going on with, like, The Rock and Cody and Seth and all that. The last I think I remember is, like, Cody had said he was going for Roman anyways, and I don't know what has happened since then. I do like tanks and armored vehicles. Like, I'm a little afraid to do anything with, like, planes too much, or definitely not ships. Dear God, I am not ready for ships. Ships have too many etched parts, in my personal opinion. At least for that is too much for me. Okay, so this actually has two little pieces in it. So we've got the, I guess maybe top, and then the sides and undercarriage of the armored vehicle. So we'll set these out. We've also got our little rubber bits for helping keep the tracks moving and such. And let's take a look at our instructions. I assume these are going to end up going together. That feels likely. This has some dudes on it, so we'll stick those all together. We've got our etched pieces. Let's go ahead and take a look at the... Ooh! I don't remember them doing this in some of the other ones. This is cool. Red, brown, dark green, and yellow. Or dark yellow. Okay. Well, I did actually recently pick up a dark yellow spray of paint, like primer. It might actually be the TS3 XF60 that they have on here, so I might end up using that to prime this bad boy. Cool. This might end up being the color scheme. One of the things I want to talk with you guys about is get your suggestions on what I could do color-wise for the Marder. I did notice that, like, the box art and everything has a lot of the camo, and it's cool that they're giving me this, so I might use this as a reference. Because I think that'd be really cool. I'm excited. Alright, let's take a look at the instructions and just see what we're looking at. Okay, cutting parts out, that's great. Not used. A1, A2, A5, A6, A7. Okay, so those are, I guess a bunch of parts that are not used from this kit. Fascinating. You know, I'll have to look at my instructions. I do still have them. I have no idea if they did that in the other ones. I think they did, and I just don't know if I paid attention. And I should go see if I still have all those pieces left, because that'll be great, because then that means I can definitely just, like, clip them out and, like, honestly put them in a box somewhere. I was watching some YouTuber, and I apologize because I don't remember what his name is, but he does a lot of, like, really interesting diorama builds, and they seem like if they're not thematic to just something that he's interested in doing, what they tend to be about is, like, him doing some dioramas for his own personal world building for the story that he's writing, which is really cool because he always tells, like, a little short story in the videos themselves, and the attention to detail is just incredible with some of these diorama builders and everything like that. And I noticed that he had just a box, like a Gundam, like an empty Gundam model box that had just a bunch of, like, cut up pieces of sprue that had some things still left on them, or just, like, big pieces already taken off their sprue that were excess from various kits that he had built that were, like, official kits, and he just used that to, like, kit bash and everything. And I just was like, oh, that's a really good idea and a very easy way to just keep it all separate. Oh, you're going to be building a repulsor executioner? That's awesome. Alright, attached parts in numbered order. I am not noticing anything that is talking about, like, you have to make choices of pieces. So it looks like this is going to be a pretty straightforward build. And we are starting with the big pieces, so let's go ahead and just get started with that. We'll go ahead and clip some pieces out. clean them up, and we'll see how far we get today. Let's go ahead and move that. Just organize my desk space a little bit real fast. Yeah, I do want to try like a really interesting camo, because on my Panzer, I ended up doing a flat color, which was fun, and I really liked it, and I think it ended up allowing me to do some interesting things with my weathering and make the weathering sort of be lighter as I experiment with things, but still have it stand out because of the contrast between it and the color that I had used for the paint. But I think doing like a more actual camouflage tank and attempting that would be really cool. I don't know if I'll try my airbrush with it quite yet, but I do think I want to try at least camo pattern. That'd be awesome. Yeah, it seems like a lot of them seem to be based in yellow, which I thought was interesting because I always feel like I hear about like Panzer Gray, you know, like German Gray. And so I just kind of assumed all of their tanks were going to be gray, but evidently not. I assume that's why Tamiya made this one. Well, no, were they all in this color plastic? I can't remember now. No, some of them are in a light blue-gray color tone, and I think that's what the Panzer was. This is actually in a yellow. I wonder if they do that intentionally to like base or put the plastic of the that represents sort of the base color tone of the tank itself. And when you're feeling lazy and don't want to paint it. All right, let's go ahead and we need to cut out E. Is this E? I'm assuming yes. E. 8. 4, 6, 5. All right, let's go ahead and start with E8. Winter camouflage is definitely something that I want to try at some point. Probably not for this particular one. Although it could be interesting, but definitely want to do some winter camouflage at some point in the future. Because I think it would be very cool. Alright, this is E8. Oh my gosh, I made a pun. I didn't mean to, and I still did. Ha 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 ha, so funny. So hilarious. Alright, E6 is our big middle one. We also need E5. And then E4, which I believe is this one here. There it is. Yep, there's the 4. See it? Okay. Pieces in order. So E8, E6, E5, E4, and then is there a second E4? No, but I apparently do need a Z5. A Z5. Gray was only used in the early war, and then they switched it to the sand yellow. Why? So, I mean, that seems to be the case, just based off of, like, historical stuff that I've been seeing, but do you know why? Seems kind of weird. Where is Z? I need, apparently, ZF. Is this... Nope, that's H. Z. Okay, Z is with the men. Alright, so we need this piece here. Excellent. I'm going to go ahead and clean all these pieces up, and we will start getting them assembled. I do have my sanding over here. Huzzah! I wasn't sure if I had actually prepped properly, but I did. I don't know why I'm getting so high-pitched, I'm sorry. Oh, it's a paint shortage? Okay. That makes complete sense. I wonder what in the gray pigment they ran out of. Or like not the Germans specifically, but the paint manufacturers. Like, I wonder what pigment or something that they ran out of to be able to produce that particular paint color. Did I bring over my, what's it called? Mold line remover tool? Did I do that? Was I smart? Nope, but I have one here. It's fine. I've got one right here. There we go. Oh, I should put in, I got your guys' music is going. Yes, I see that it is going. I should put my music in. I did actually prep my wireless earbuds for once to make my life easier. I don't know if I've ever heard of the Ammo MiG 0024 washable white camo. I'll have to look into that. Very interesting. Cool. Let's see. I don't want to listen to my workout music. I am not in the mood to work out. But that will work. Alright, continue with our cleanup. That appears to be cleaned up. Now, this is supposed to attach... I see. Here. Okay. I'm not sure why yet. We'll figure it out. Now, this is on the inside, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning any of these up, because we're probably not going to see them. I guess it's difficult to paint the camo over the gray base coat because they're needing camo that is green and brown predominantly and not in the gray tones. Is that why it's more difficult? Because, like, I would assume that in a winter camo scheme, perhaps, it might be easier because you may want those gray tones to be in there a little bit because of all the snow. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, North Africa, I know, especially had the tan color tones as, like, their bases, because I see a lot of, like, Merkavas and those kinds of things doing that, but, like, because that was the first tank that I ever built. But yeah, it's interesting that they, that this very famous, it's funny to me because I feel like I hear about Panzer Gray all the time. As a color, so it's just really funny that it's actually not super efficient, and therefore they stopped using it / had a shortage of it. Alright, let's go ahead and attach this piece. That is not the right glue that I need. Alright, there we go. Proper Tamiya. Well, let's, you know what? I should probably just, like, finish cleaning everything up first. They didn't care as much because they were doing better in the early war. I mean, I guess that makes sense. You stop, you start being way more efficient when money gets tighter, right? I built a Sherman last time. I don't have a preference for German tanks specifically. This is actually the first German tank that I've built. My first tank that I built was a Merkava, so an Israeli tank. The next thing that I built was actually a Japanese airplane. Then I built the Panzer 38T, which is actually not German, it's Czech, which I learned in mass in the comments in that video because I actually called it a German tank and apparently that was wrong. Which is really cool to learn actually. So I've built the Czech Panzer 38T and then I actually have built a Sherman. I built the Easy 8. That was the last thing that I built on the channel. And now this is actually my first German tank destroyer. So I don't know, does it like is it it's not technically a tank, right? It's just an armored vehicle. I actually don't know. Somebody let me know. Is it like... Because I don't think it technically would count as a tank, right? Even though I definitely feel like I've called it that in the past, but I do think it's like an armored vehicle. Because I thought tanks were closed-topped. Generally. No worries, it's on the channel. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can find it for you real quick. Yeah, the Sherman was really fun to build. I actually did a couple of live streams with it too, but here you go. Here's a... Close that, get back into here. There you go. That is the Sherman video. Ooh, you just finished a resin pour for your beach bases? That's gonna be awesome. A water base would be really cool to do. Like, it's the one thing that has kept me very interested, specifically in the Eldith Deepkin. Is that what they're called? What are it's something Deepkin. Of the Idonith Deepkin, I think is what they're called, in Warhammer, the Sea Elves. Like, I would think it'd be really cool to do resin bases for them, because they have all the aquatic creatures, especially that they ride. So, like, there's, I think there's one unit in particular, and I apologize, I don't actually know the name of them because I've not followed that army super well, but I think they're all like eels or something like that. It's a very like slithery type of creature, and it looks really cool, and I think that'd be amazing. All right, that looks good. I think I cleaned up all those sides. Yeah, that feels flat. Oh, one more right there.
Why are the democratic servers of Super Earth still full?
Oh no! Still?
Yes.
Good lord, it's like Tuesday afternoon, guys. Come on. Yeah, go do your jobs and get off this game.
Don't you know some of us unemployed YouTubers gotta fight for democracy?
Yeah, come on. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. It'll eventually let you on, one day. You have 2 Shermans that you need to be built in one day? Good luck with that. I mean, they weren't like a super tough build, but they definitely, I mean, they were larger tanks, so they were still time-consuming. You got it. You can do it. Power through it, I guess. Alright, this... I do have this facing the correct way. Cool. So this is actually going to sit here. Alright, cool. And then we're probably going to flip it over. So that goes there, and we just have this one other piece to clean up. Are you able to play right now, Alex? (1/16th scale? How big must those be? I did buy my first, so let's see, these are 1/35th scale. I believe I have bought a I'll need to double check. I can't remember now what my British tank that I bought recently is, scale-wise. Let me see, I can probably look it up. Gosh, what was it called? It was something Mark IV, even though I called it a Mark VI because I have trouble with Roman numerals. No, it might just be called literally a British Mark IV. But it's motorized, and it's a larger scale than... Oh my god, please? Oh, I am hitting the button! Phone! Phone! I will slaughter you. Okay, I got it. Everything's fine. Tank Mark IV motorized. Yep, that is it. That is the one that I got. Yeah, it's a British Tank Mark IV male with a single motor. It is also... Never mind, I lied. It's also 1/35th scale. Ignore everything I was saying. Everything.
Who were you threatening?
I wasn't threatening. I was threatening my phone. But I thought for some reason that the British Mark IV that we bought, that is the same. That is the was a different scale from these guys, but it is not.
No, it's huge.
It's just gigantic.
Yeah, no, but that's why the Land Raider is based on it.
I see. Why are we showing my Panzer?
I don't know, because you painted it, it's cool. It's something you have to about your tanks.
Oh, excellent. Well, this is the only one that I've painted. Let me get it into focus. There we go. Now it looks better. It was kind of blurry before, and now it looks crisper. So this is the only one that I've painted, and like I said, I went with a dark blue, and that's why I think my weathering kind of stands out, even though I feel like it's a little bit on the light side. I want to come back to that tank eventually, and maybe put it in like a diorama or something, and then muddy up its tracks more and such. Did I? Oh, because I took my headphone out. My music stopped. Let me change this from being noise canceling. There we go. Problem was I was not able to hear anything Chaos Cultist was saying. Yep, it's a World War I era. The reason I picked it up is because it's what the Land Raider in Warhammer 40k is based off of, and I just thought it would be fun and silly to actually build that. And I also was like, oh my god, it's motorized. I've not seen many motorized tanks. Like, I've seen motorized cars, and I feel like I've seen some other motorized military, like, vehicles and stuff, but not tanks very often, so... Alright. That looks actually pretty good. There's one sprue area there. And one there. But we're looking pretty clean. So I think we can actually start gluing these sections together. Attached parts in numbered order. Alright. I will do so, Tamiya. Don't worry. 1/6 radio controlled tanks? Whoa, how big must those be? They must be huge, right? 1/6 scale? That seems intense. I want one of those but for sci-fi tanks. Can I have a 1/6 scale sci-fi tank, please? Because I will take a Land Raider that size. Give me a Lehman Russ. Hell, I'll take a Rhino. Oh my god, I'll take a Dreadnought. Give me a Dreadnought. Alright. That panel is on. Go ahead and glue... Guess they want us to put... I'm going to assume they want me to do this next, because they do have me putting on the sides, and I feel like I need this on there before I do the sides, so let's go ahead and get some glue there, get some glue here, and then let's make sure that's straight, please. Alright, we're just gonna hold it in place to let it bond for a little bit. Good evening, Shaky Hands models. How are you doing today? Oh my god, I mean, it would be a really cool new market for them, wouldn't it, John? They're not gonna listen to me. And I'm sure people have asked that before. Also, the problem is GW probably wouldn't ever, they wouldn't agree to that kind of license. Like, they wouldn't want to work with another modeling company to make tanks that could, in theory, be used in their games. Because, like, if they did the 1/35th scale, I think they would be roughly the scale of Games Workshop tanks anyways, because they definitely... Like, you can use some of these tanks easily as like, kit-bashed versions of Imperial tanks or orc tanks or whatever. Really the only thing I feel like you couldn't use these kinds of things for is like Eldar or something, because their ships and tanks are spaceshipy rather than real world tank like, in the same way that the Imperium of Man is, you know, for example. So, but you could easily, like, imagine making some really cool, God, that'd be really cool, some really cool, like, kit-bashed, like, Mechanicus tanks, or dark Mechanicus tanks. Because, like, Mechanicus tanks, you'd want to follow the, what do they call them? STLs? Is that what it's called? What are the things that tell you how to build a tank in, what is it called? STCs, thank you. The STCs, so like they'd want to make it look like the STCs, but Mechanicus, Dark Mechanicus, they wouldn't give a fuck. And then you could have them like do really cool kit bash things out of these kinds of tanks, and you could still run them in game, so they would never want to open up another avenue for people to spend money to be able to use models that would technically be official, which is the key reason that they wouldn't do it. Because these models would technically be licensed and therefore be official, and that would be taking money away from their pockets in regards to their gameplay and like the game system, and so they would never do it. Dude, Power Washing Simulator, but that's a video game. Like that's not actually cutting into their core like profit margin. You know what I mean? Like, Games Workshop isn't a video game company, they are a miniatures company. And Tamiya is a direct competitor to them because of that. Because they do tanks. And I just don't think they would ever do it. But it would be so cool. It really, really would. Alright. We need to flip this around. Okay, good. And then this goes like this, and it's gonna, okay, so we're building the chassis. Makes sense, I knew that. I want to make sure that this is really smooth and has some texture for sealing. So I'm gonna use this very fine sandpaper just to give myself a very subtle wear. Ah, that's right. That's what it stands for. Standard Template Construct. I always forget like what the acronym actually stands for, which causes me to forget the acronym itself. Okay, I think we're good. It goes like this, and then like that. All right, let's get this side on. Ooh, where did that drop? Not on plastic, so I don't care. Ooh. Oh, it did drop on plastic. Okay, just don't touch it, and then I'll sand it. Damn it. Pressing these sides in. Is that on correctly? Okay, yes. Just doing a double check to make sure that I put everything on correctly. I am doing quite well today, shaky hands. Thank you for asking. Oop, okay, except that I'm not gluing these solidly enough. Hold on. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. I just really want to make sure this is all aligned properly so that everything is flush. You know what I mean? Going and sanding up some of that spill that I got. Alright, that's pretty flat. I will need to come back in with... So this might work. I just want to see if I need to engrave this a little bit more, or if it's just that I filled it with dust. I think I filled it with dust. I mean, it's slipper brush. Thought the silicone tool might be able to get into groove, but it's too soft. Where is my brushes? Over here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. No need to worry. I can always cover it with mud. I probably will. I probably will cover it with mud. So much mud. Let's go ahead and glue that. Wouldn't that make the tank gigantic then? If 1/6 scale is the equivalent to the 12-inch tall G.I. Joes? I mean, I guess they've made some toy tanks that large for those Joes, right? So that would be the equivalent of the tank? That'd be bonkers. That'd be absolutely bonkers. Good evening, Matthew. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well today. Alright, that is feeling better. We're going to let it dry for a smidge. I'm going to look ahead and see what we've got next while we're doing that. So it looks like we're going to need some more stuff on F. It's actually literally telling me to hold it with cellophane tape. My goodness. Use some washi tape. Lord, that would be so cool. This was actually voted on by my YouTube members and patrons. They had a choice of 4 different tanks, or I guess tanks and armored vehicles that they could choose from. And this is what they went with, which I'm very excited for. Alright, let's glue this other side on. Let's go ahead and get some more glue in some of these areas where I don't feel like it's holding well. All right, there we go. It feels so narrow and compared to everything else I've built so far, because everything else has been like a tank, and so they're wider. So this feels so like narrow, it's weird. Careful not to remove every little thing on the lower hull. Alright, well, I'll definitely be careful of not removing everything. Alright, we are good to go ahead and start clipping out more pieces, so I'm gonna grab the sprue that I think I need. I'm also, will admit, I'm very tempted to just jump ahead and, like, build the dudes. Because I'm actually very excited to work on them. Alright, so it looks like we've got this piece here, so F12. And then I'll need F3. F3. And F5. Oh, this is E. I am looking at, okay, this is, I do need E12. This is the correct thing that I need here, but I need F, which I think is the other piece. That's why I'm slightly misremembering things. All right, there we go. There's that one. F. All right, F3, F5. This is making way more sense. These pieces are actually looking correct. All right, so they got that. Are you? Okay, I think I need to do a little bit of precise cleanup on this. Okay. We're gonna do these first, and then we'll move on to the other parts of putting them all together and self-untaping it. Okay, let's clean these things up real quick. I have seen, like, those, I think Woodland Scenics makes them, and I think I've seen, like, Green Stuff World has them as well. I'm sure other, hobby suppliers make them too, but, like, those individually cut out, like, or punch-outable leaves. That'd be wild to use on one of these. When I do, like, a full diorama, that's when I'm really gonna get into that kind of stuff. Until then, I want to focus mostly on just, like, weathering, some mud work and stuff, and then paint job, obviously. That looks decent. So for this little thing, I just want to make sure I get a really clean clip. That looks pretty decent. Tiny plastic pieces that slip out of your hand. The worst! Alright, but that actually did clean up pretty decently. So, this is meant to go... I see, okay. Some glue on there. Get some glue on this. And awkwardly shove it in there. There we go. I'm not sure what that is. But we did it! Success. You like to do dioramas with loads of 1/35th scale models? They're pretty fun. Like, they're not a bad scale. It's small, but it's not, like, overly... It's not, like, super tiny, which is nice. Small hull for a big punch. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked too much into like the effectiveness of the Marder III, but kind of based off of what I've seen people say, I suspect it did its job well because people seem to like it, which is pretty cool. Okay, so we built those. This, I'm gonna let that glue dry a little bit more and then do some cleanup. This needs a little bit of cleanup as well. Okay, so this is gonna go back here with this stuff. Looks like it faces this way and sits there. That's supposed to be flush. And then this, once we have it cleaned up, we'll go in. I see, okay, right here. Does it fit better? Okay, I'll just need to really make sure to hold it in place, I think. Okay. Let's do a smidge of cleanup. Well, I'm glad! That's awesome. What are you guys working on in the lab right now? That sounds fun. Also, hello, everybody in the lab who's working. Hope you guys are having a good day. All right. I have seen people use off-market tracks. I've even seen people 3D print their own tracks, and that is something that in the future I am totally going to be looking into, because I think it's really, like, I've seen people do upgrades, like some severe upgrades to some of their Tamiya kits and other branded kits, and I think it's really neat that that's something that is done regularly. And one day I will grow into being able to do that myself, but I want to continue working on just like figuring out and understanding these builds a bit better before I go into that kind of level of modification. All right, let's get this in. There we go. Should we get a nice seal? Press it back. Oh, and then let's get a little bit of glue on this side, because it's got that flat panel that goes against the wall. And it would probably be helpful to have that sort of sealed in too. One thing that I do want to look at potentially doing on this tank before I actually paint it is I've seen like Plasmo and Night Shift and a couple other guys on YouTube who do dioramas end up using some green stuff to do some weld marks, just as like an extra like add-on to enhance the tank, and I think that'd be really cool. Can they be expensive? That's fair. I mean, if you 3D print them yourself, they're probably less expensive, right? Oh my gosh, look how cool that is! We have Chaos Cultist just brought me in the, is this the like my dragon?
Mech, yeah.
Yeah, mech that she has. This is so cool. Look how, like, look how articulated the legs are. They bend really well. The feet actually like are articulated too. It blows my mind how awesome these mech designs are. Also, they're really fun to build. Does it rotate?
No, I meant his arm.
Oh, his arm does. Nice!
I think you could do this with it, but...
Oh! Nice! See how much, like, movement there is? That's so rad! Like the gun on the shoulder. Oh, and he has hands! I love that!
Yes.
I love when they give him actual hands. Because then they really feel like they're actually gripping their weapons that they're carrying, which is really cool. Nice. So cool. Hello, Ryu Arts. Welcome. You're making a Dark Angels chaplain out of a McFarlane scale Warhammer figure. One of the toys. That's so cool. All right, that looks good. Looks like it's sealed in. All right, now this is gonna go in. Okay, let's go. Let's get this. Holding this down because I feel like this is where I have a little bit of a lift. Photo etch scares me so much. I've seen so many like individual photo etched pieces for like ship models, for example, that I'm just like, no thanks. Like, it looks cool, don't get me wrong, it does add a certain level of detail, but it's also just like a terrifying prospect. I'm sure it'd be fun though. I think we're in strongly there. Now, we need to clip out F2, which is this big piece. And then E18 as well, which is this piece right here. What I actually want to get, like the next thing that I want to do when I've cleared through a couple more of the tanks that I've purchased, because I also have, we were talking about like the spread of tanks that I've done. I actually don't have any, I don't think, I'm not, like, don't 100% quote me on this, but I believe I have not repeated any, like, countries yet in regards to the vehicles that I've bought. The only, like, exception to that, I guess, technically, depending on how you want to look at it, is I did pick up a Japanese armored vehicle and tank combo pack, and I have done a Japanese plane. So technically, like, I've done, like, 2 Japanese vehicles, I guess, in that variety, but like that's the extent of it, because I also have a French tank that I'm sitting on, and what was the other thing? What was the other thing that I had them vote on? Oh, and then another type of vehicle that's also an armored car. It has oh, and this is also, okay, so this is where it starts to repeat. I actually have more Japanese vehicles than anything else, I'm realizing, because I have a Japanese Toyota of some variety, but it's an armored vehicle, and it has a fabric canopy, which I thought was really cool. It's one of the reasons I got it. And then I bought another one that is like a combination, like tank and then armored vehicle multi-pack that I can't remember now what it is. But that French tank, the little was it an F-38? Is that what it's called? Let me look at the, let me check my Discord real quick and see what I let them vote on. Where did I put that? Was it in announcements? Yes. Yeah, so I have a Kurogane and a self-propelled gun. So again, armored vehicles, and then I have an R-35, that's what it is. So I have a little R-35, which is a French tank. Is this also a Czech tank? It says German tank destroyer, though. Damn it! So is this not? This also is not a German vehicle. It's a Czech vehicle. Trust me, Alex, I will probably not overdo things. If anything, I'll underdo things in the beginning, and then we'll work up to overdoing our stuff. I'm sure eventually I'll be like, I'm just gonna replace and, like, cut out various sections of this entire chassis and replace it with a different resin piece, or photo etched piece, or piece that I printed, or some other, like, thing like that. That'll, I'm sure, eventually down the line be my life, but not yet. Not yet. Lisa, the scale is actually pretty close to the Warhammer tanks. I was talking earlier and saying that I really feel like you could use some of these tanks in 40k games if you were like kit bashing or just wanting to do something a little bit different and using a proxy. And I think you could absolutely get away with it because they're around the same like size as some of the Warhammer tanks. So easily you could definitely use it, which is why I don't think Games Workshop would ever partner with Tamiya to make official Games Workshop like licensed kits. Because imagine like a Tamiya kit that was an actual Land Raider or a Lehman Russ or something like that, or even a Dreadnought, which would be super cool. I don't know if they do non-historical vehicles, actually, now that I say that. So I have no idea if a Dreadnought would even be up their avenue. But they would never do it because Games Workshop would not want the competition. They were a model company themselves. They wouldn't want to compete and give some of their hard-earned dollars to I think Tamiya. But I think it'd be really cool. Yes, no, I absolutely, like, you want to kit bash some fun stuff? I was talking earlier. I think kit bashing using these kinds of tanks, like these Tamiya kits, to make Dark Mechanicus would be really, really, really cool. Because I feel like you could then get away with them being sort of Land Raider-ish, because there's a lot of those 40k tanks are based off of real, actual world tanks, which is why I recently bought the British Mark IV, because that's what the Land Raider is based off of, like specifically, and it's motorized and everything. It's very cool. But, like, imagine taking that and then kit bashing it to be Dark Mechanicus or something like that, and then, I don't know, I just think that'd be really rad. You could probably even make it work as, like, an actual Land Raider, and just be, like, an offshoot or something, but I feel like, wait, where does this go? Ah, like this. Like that! Alright, so we got a little bit of sprue sticking up there that we need to tear down. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool to use some of these to kit bash. So if that's your jam, definitely consider checking it out. You know, that's fair. Okay, so it is a German tank, but it might be a Czech chassis. I got it. Ah, I see. I have not built any sci-fi... Well, okay, I have built some sci-fi model kits if you consider Gundam sci-fi model kits. I've not built any vehicle, like armored vehicle or like wheeled vehicle sci-fi kits, although I do have some Star Wars ones that I eventually want to put together. I bought the, I'm ashamed for not knowing the name of it because it was in Season 1 of the Bad Batch, but whatever their vehicle was in Season 1, I bought that. And, have that waiting on the shelf to build. Which I might actually pull out soon, since Bad Batch season... the last season's starting soon. Like, tomorrow? Starting tomorrow? I know it's really, really soon. I want to say Chaos Cultist told me yesterday it was starting in like 2 days, which would mean that it's starting in 1 day now. Okay, Angela, you've had it sitting. Oh, there we go. Is that better? Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and start gluing this in place so that we can tape it down, as they suggest. Does it not want me? I'm assuming it still wants me to glue it in place, right? Real quick, I want to check something. In any way, do you have me remove that part again? No, okay. It just, the way that it's worded, it says temporarily hold with cellophane tape, and I'm like, so is it not supposed to be in there permanently? But it does. It just, I think it's just telling me to do that because of lift. All right, get it into place. Okay, that looks good. Let's get some washi tape out and hold it in place. Maybe if I can find the edge. There it is. Just doing a little bit of spot gluing. Alright, that's good. We definitely need to put more glue under there. That ain't sticking. Tape. If I could play any character in a movie? Ooh, who would I want to play in a movie? You know, I'm not really sure. I've never really thought about that, of like I've thought about maybe like worlds that I'd want to go to that are from movies, for example, or pop culture, but I've never really thought about like a character I would want to play. Act the role of. Probably. Ooh, you know what? Actually, I got one. This is silly, but oops. But it's definitely very appropriate for me. Evelyn from The Mummy 1. That's who I would want to play. But this one's so much narrower. I'm definitely not denying that they're going to be similar. I mean, it makes sense. I'll take a look in a sec. Alright. So we got that in place. Now, where does this go? Sitting here, based off the shape. Yep, okay. So like that. Get some glue right there. I got the sprue bits. Ah! Okay, let's go. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get a little bit more tape on there just to help keep it in place. Okay, that is sealed in place, and we can go ahead and start clipping out a few more things. She's fun, and I really like the adventure she gets to go on. Like, I love that movie so much. If I had to, like, act for it, I think that would be a really fun one to do, because then I could get to pretend to be sacrificed, but then I could then rise up from that sacrifice and kick some major ass, and I feel like that is pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, definitely got it. Gotta go with Evelyn. Plus, then I'd get to co-star against Brendan Fraser and from like the 90s when he was the best. Absolute top of his game when it comes to acting. Not that it's not doing great things right now. I'm so glad to see him back doing things, but peak Brendan Fraser. So love it, absolutely love it. We have a bunch of small things to clip out next, because we are going to be working on the what's the word I'm looking for, chat? It is treads. We're going to be working on the treads. I did notice that I have a little bit of a uneven edge here, so let's just take care of that. Ooh, nice noise. Nice scrapey noise. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead and start finding our tread pieces. Probably in these. KJ. Oh, they're stuck together. Please release. Also KJ. Cool, so 2 KJs. And is this the A? A and A. Perfect. Perfect. I mean, yes, the answer to that question, or the answer to that statement, which did not need an actual answer because it was not a question, but Thoughtsmith, yes, the Mummy did in fact make everybody buy. I completely agree, because you couldn't help but love, frankly, everybody. in that. I loved Brendan Fraser as Rick O'Connell. I loved Jonathan, whose actor's name I cannot remember, but he was fantastic and hilarious to me. I loved Emotep and his actor, whose name I cannot remember. You had the Magi dude, who was like literally, I think, a fashion model originally, and so like he was gorgeous. And then of course you had both Evelyn and Anaxuna Moon, both freaking hot ladies and beautiful. So yes, I agree. There's everybody to love in that movie. They're all top. Yeah, Jonathan, John Hannah is his name? Okay, fantastic. Like, he was so fun. I loved him in both Mummy 1 and The Mummy 2. In my opinion, his interactions and then Emotep's interactions with the kid in The Mummy 2 made that kid so much more tolerable, like, and enjoyable as a kid character in a movie. Because normally they can be really hit or miss. They can be, like, super annoying, especially in, like, action-adventure stuff, like The Mummy is. So yeah, just absolutely fantastic. Yes, Arnold Vosloo, exactly. Emotep, Arnold Vosloo, fantastic. Just great. I also just would want to be on the set for that film. I imagine, like, some of the practical effects were fun, and then seeing the CG was probably ridiculous. Because, like, the scarabs, ugh. I wish, missed opportunity from Games Workshop when it comes to the Necrons and the scarabs, of not having them be flesh eaters and, like, crawling under your skin. Imagine, like, the Imperium just being infected by a bunch of scarabs that, like, crawl under their skin and then, like, I don't know, flay them from the inside out or something. Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so scary. Alright, we need a bunch of A10s. So A10, 2 A10s, 1, 2, 3, 4 A3s, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 A4s. Okay, so there's half of the 4s. Looks like they split it half and half then? Yep. That looks pretty clean actually already. Nice. Alright, I don't think I really need to do much cleanup. So those are our 2 10s. They're gonna go at the front. Let's get our A3s off. Cool. And then 2 more over here. All right. And then all of the A4s. All right, we'll need to do a little bit of cleanup on those, but I think we got them. And then I think A14, is that actually a 14, 15? There it is. Okay, we need 2 of these. All right. Get those out of the way. Reorganize a smidge. Oh no, Ivan, I'm so sorry to hear that about your Millennium Falcon. I'm sure that you'll be able to figure out where the pieces actually go. I love the Resident Evil movies. The only one that sort of disappoints me is the last one that came out, because I think they turned Wesker into an absolute bitch, and it really upsets me because I like Wesker a lot as a character. But in regards to a campy horror movie, action movie that I can just put on and watch like whenever, Resident Evil is totally up there. Like, I really, really enjoy the silliness of those films. I think I saw at least half of them in theaters, because I am a dork and I just thought they were silly. Oh yeah, I think The Mummy is like up there as a lot of people's favorite Brendan Fraser movies. Like, don't get me wrong, he's been in a lot of really like good movies, but The Mummy is just so fun. It has the perfect level of action, adventure, drama, romance, horror to just, I think, vibe with anyone. Like, legitimately, I just think it's such a well-rounded movie. I'm sure there's like papers written on the pop culture phenomena that was The Mummy. I don't know a single person who I've ever spoken to who's been like, ah, yes, The Mummy, I hate it. Or I think it's a terrible film, or I can't watch it because it's so stupid or something. Like, I've never heard anyone say anything like that. It's always just been, oh yeah, The Mummy, it's great, it's so camp, and I love it, and the acting is phenomenal. Everybody loves everybody in that film. Like, there's not a single person that you don't like. Lego can be a little expensive, absolutely. Totally worth it in my opinion, though. I think there are some really great builds that definitely flex your creativity and your, like, engineering side of your brains. Like the, earlier Chaos Cultist brought in the mech that he had finished building for our Monkey Kid collection. And, like, the engineering that goes into, like, the legs. Like, we built the thighs, and it was intense what went into it. And it's so cool because it's so articulated, and it blows my mind. Oh yeah, the last Resident Evil film was just not great. Like, definitely by far, in my opinion, one of the worst ones of the batch. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're good films. I just think that they're great films. In the best possible ways. But they are not high cinema, if you get what I mean. Aren't they, like, rebooting them or something like that? Which I don't know how I feel, because I don't know if they're using the same woman. Like, the thing that also made those films really great to me is the director and the lead actress are married. So it's just, like, a couple working on these films together. And I just think that's really cute. Like, they seemed like they enjoyed themselves doing it. And so that adds to my love of watching them, because I'm just like, oh, they probably had so much fun filming this. This is so dumb. Oh, yeah, no, she's great. Mila Jovovich, the woman who plays, I don't remember even what the character's name is, but the lead character in the Resident Evil films, fantastic. But yeah, she's married to the director, if I recall correctly. Alice, was that her name? Ooh, you're gonna get the Disney castle? That'd be cool. I just bought the Ornithopter. The Dune Ornithopter. For the Chaos Cultist for Valentine's Day, which is... We haven't started building yet, but I'm looking forward to when we do. First, I have a tank to build, though. I had a brush over here that I was... Oh, there it is. Is she the same? Oh, I forget that. I always forget she's the lady in, is she the, like, redhead in Fifth Element? That's why she looks so familiar. Holy shit. I don't think I had put that together. Mila... That is hilarious to hear. I didn't know that she was in Fifth Element. That's great. I mean, it makes sense that she is, but, like, I just hadn't put that together because I'm dumb. I've also only seen Fifth Element, like, once. Maybe twice. What's the cast? Oh, yeah. Look at her. I think I mostly remember, like, Bruce Willis. I don't know why I screenshotted that. That was an accident. And, like, Gary Oldman and all of them in it. Favorite Batman movie and actor? So I have not seen all of the Batman movies. So this is a little bit difficult to answer, but I do very much enjoy, and this might be slightly controversial, so I apologize, but I actually really enjoy the one, the more campy ones with, like, the Bat credit cards and stuff like that, just because they're so dumb. Like, I like Batman to either be super serious or, like, hilariously camp. And I feel like that goes into the hilariously camp side of it because they're so brightly colored. I guess it's the Tim Burton ones. Aren't those the Tim Burton ones? And I also really like the Batmobile from that particular movie. And then, but as regards to the, like, my favorite Batman, I don't have a favorite Batman, but I do have a favorite, like, character in a Batman film, and that's definitely Heath Ledger's Joker. Like, I love Heath Ledger so much. Knight's Tale is, like, if The Mummy is my #1 favorite film, Knight's Tale is, like, my second favorite film, because that is also a film I can go and constantly rewatch and quote, like, as I'm watching it and never get tired of it. So definitely Heath Ledger's Joker is at least my favorite, like, character from a Batman film. Yeah, I don't know if I have, like, a favorite Batman. Like, my Batman will always and forever be the 90s animated Batman series, like, Batman. It's always going to be, I am terrible with names. What is the voice actor who recently passed, like, a couple years ago, or last year, I think it was, who plays Batman in, like, all of the animated stuff and a lot of the video games and stuff? Is it, like, Keaton? You guys will tell me in a moment. I'm gonna keep working on my tank. But yeah, like, that would be, I guess, my favorite Batman. Would be the 90s animated version. Good lord, you want to talk about, like, a thing I would have wanted to, like, potentially, like, work on or, like, voice acted in? That would have been something. Although I have to say, I do also, when it comes to Jokers, I do really appreciate Mark Hamill as the Joker as well. He's a fantastic, like, the voice of, oh, so good. But I do really like Heath Ledger's. Kevin Conroy, thank you. That's right. Okay, yeah, so Kevin Conroy, like, that's my Batman. He is Batman to me. Forever and always. Definitely not Adam West. No. Definitely not the Adam West Batman. I mean, don't get me wrong, Adam West Batman, I guess, is a certain level of camp, but not... That's a level of camp that I think goes a little too far. And I just like making fun of. It's still great, but it's not my favorite rendition of Batman. I do like him being a bit more serious, but, like, my Batman is definitely the animated Batman. The Kevin Conroy one. Alright, let's go ahead and finish cleaning some of these up. Cool. I'm just cleaning up these little sprue areas. I don't know what they're supposed to connect to specifically, but sometimes if you have just like the slightest raised edge of where it's connected to the actual sprues when they like printed them, it does cause quite a bit of problem and cause some weird gapping and such. More so than I feel like sometimes with even like GW models. Which I just think is a really good fit, honestly. I just think these things are really extremely well fitted together. So you really can't have that little bulge sometimes that gets left over by, you know, if you don't clean your, where you clipped it well enough. That's a model, actually, that would be really cool now that I think about it to build, would be a Batmobile. Which Batmobile would you guys, like, would you say is your favorite? Like, what is the most iconic to you? Because he's had so many, right? Like, I do admit I like the Tim Burton one a lot. I think that's one of the things that sells me on those movies, is I like the bright color of it, I like the slight camp to it, and then I enjoy the Batmobile a lot. Okay, I think we are clipped. Let's go ahead and de-tape this. Go. Looks like we got some good seals. We'll do some mild cleanup. Yeah, it's looking really good. Oop. There we go. Washi tape, by the way, this stuff, you can get it at like craft supply stores and everything. Works really well as just masking tape. And it comes in these like, you can get them in like bundles. So, good way to inexpensively get a lot of masking if you end up doing a lot of masking. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of some of these glue buildups. It looks pretty good, actually. I feel like I got some pretty good seals. Nothing really looks super gapped. Let me look up... I want to look up the Marder III real quick and see what its weld marks look like. Marder 3M. That didn't expand that at all. Excellent. Let's see. Again, that really didn't expand it. It doesn't look like it has super huge weld marks, actually. Some tanks I've noticed have, like, some really big ones. Like, some really gnarly welds. Alright, let's see if I can just, like, find a bunch of images. That's not just the tank. Which is not just the scale model tank. Alright, here's one. Does this give me a better... No, I'm not really seeing many welds. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Let's keep building. You like the Atom Batmobile the most? I have to, let me look up what the Adam West one looks like. I don't think I remember what it specifically looks like. Adam West Batmobile. Oh, you know what? That's a pretty cool looking Batmobile. What's it based off of? What kind of car? It's a Lincoln Futura concept car. Interesting. Okay, well, I admit that is a pretty cool looking one, admittedly. I had not seen that. Or at least not, like, I don't feel like I see it very often. But yeah, I think, let me look, let me double check. I think I like the Tim Burton one the most. Because it's got the big wings, right? Batmobile. Yeah! Yeah, I like the Tim Burton one. Let's see. Let me look at the other Batmobiles, because, like, Batmobile. Man, there's been so many. Alright, here's the Batmobile timeline. Here's a print of it. Yeah, I like it when it has big wings. So I do admittedly like the 1989. I do think the 1995 is pretty cool, and then the 1997 is also pretty cool looking. The Tumbler was neat. Like, I admit, the Tumbler was kind of cool because it did give it that tank vibe. But, I don't know, I just feel like it needs to be sleeker than that. Is that just, like, me? Or do you guys agree that the Batmobile should be a little bit sleeker than, like, a tank looks typically? Which is why I think maybe some of you guys really like the Adam West one, because it looks sort of classic car. Like, is that what brings it forward for you? Daniel Baker, I'm sorry, but I'm not really making my content for kids, so I apologize, but you're not, they really shouldn't be watching my stuff. It's not really made for them. Sorry. Alright, we've got this all cleaned up. Let's start actually attaching these. We need to flip it upside down. We're going to come here and let's start from the front, working our way back. So these are going to go on facing... Are you actually meant to face out? Okay, it does look like they are facing with the bulging side out, so let's do... I saw a little bit of clipping that I missed. Am I crazy? I swear I saw like a raised edge. Oh, I imagine you probably do see the old Adam West style at car shows and such. Definitely feels like... I wonder if, I wonder how many versions of that car have been made, actually. Because it feels like it wouldn't be that difficult to replicate. So I'm curious how often that one's actually been replicated. I also feel like it's not talked about very often for being as cool of a design as it is. Maybe it's because it is so incredibly, like, classic car-esque that it doesn't feel Batman enough, and that's why people don't really bring it up as often. Who knows? Who knows? Now, do I need glue on these? Note. Alright, that's an attachment position. Doesn't look like we have any of the rubbers or, like pieces or anything that doesn't need to be glued yet. So let's go. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of glue on the other side of this. Specifically in those grooves where we will be making sure it gets locked into place. Ooh! As I drop things. No! No, I dropped it into a bunch of black. No, get off. Damn it. Ah! Okay, just get it on the damn tank. There we go. Okay. That was way more painful than it needed to be. When the '89 Batman was released, that's all they talked about. I mean, it was the new hot thing, right? So it makes sense. Alright, let's get a little bit more glue on this side. Let's try not to drop our piece this time dramatically into all of our shavings. That would be great. There we go. Bam. Nice. All right, that's looking fantastic. Next, we need to affix whatever these things are to these in a very specific position. Neat. So, kind of like...
Right, make sure you're on.
Sorry. Like that. Okay, I think that is the positioning we need to do. I think it might be easier, however, to attach these first. Because these are going to end up going here. Where do they go? Where do you attach? Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Here. And then this needs to go... I see. Like so. And then, are these meant to go onto this? Ah, okay. Okay, cool. So I am going to attach this first then. There we go.
Oh wait, how's the webcam been working?
Webcam's been working great. We have not, as far as I have seen, had any of the like problem.
Good.
So yeah, I think it's been working great. Okay, got that one in. Do the next one. Do you know who bought it? Was it, Oh my god, he's on Donut all the time. Not all the time, but he's on there fairly regularly. They go to his museum. We've talked about him on chat, or on the channel before, even. It's the guy that has, like, all of those, like, vintage cars and just, like, a shit ton of, like, just in general, a bunch of cars. He was a talk show host, I believe, for, like, a really long time. And I'm, like, as soon as you say his name, I'm gonna be like, yes, duh, obviously. Why couldn't I remember that? But I'm, like, blanking. What's the gentleman's name that's on Donut frequently? He's an older guy. He has the museum. It starts with
Jay Leno.
Jay Leno. Thank you. I was like, I know the last name starts with an L, but I can't fucking remember the name.
The famous late night show.
Yes, the famous late night show host. I was like, I knew he did a late night show. I just, like, was completely blanking on his name.
Yeah,
I wonder if he has a replica of any of the Batmobiles.
No, he probably has the Batmobile.
Do you think he has the, like, the 1960 whatever,
I bet he does.
the, like, the Adam West one? Because I looked that up. I actually didn't know what the Adam West Batmobile looked like, with the red and black. Yeah, I didn't realize it was, like, so classic car looking.
Of course, it's the Batmobile.
Well, modern Batmobile goes really tank design. And then, like,
start with Christian Bale.
I understand that. And then the other Batmobiles prior to, or after Adam West, were very much stylized. Like, they all had the big wings and stuff.
Yeah, Tim Burton.
And so, yeah, exactly. And so, which I really like.
Yeah.
Like, I really love those big...
My favorite forever is the Tim Burton jet engine.
Yes, yeah, the one with the big jet.
Yeah.
Exactly. Really cool design. But I don't think I had realized how classic car the first one actually looked.
I would look it up, but my phone is currently recording.
Oh yeah, no, I already looked it up.
If Jay Leno had a Batmobile?
Oh, I have not looked that up. I was just looking up the Adam West Batmobile because I don't think I had remember seeing that one. Okay, those are gonna let them dry thoroughly in place before we attach the next sections.
I think Jay Leno actually, like, did the public debut of the Tumbler.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
If you don't know what the Tumbler is.
No, I do know what the Tumbler is. That's the one that's in the Christian Bale ones, right? Yes. Like, that's the... Which I do think is kind of cool. Like, I admit, I like that he ended up going more tank-like with it, but there's just something about the big wings.
Yeah, I think Jay Leno only has,
the more modern ones?
I'm not even sure. No, I think he just drove it.
Ah, okay. That's fair.
Yes, I think he's driven them, but I don't think he owns them. Which kind of makes sense. His garage is a bit more history-focused.
Well, that's why I was wondering, because I was like, I actually don't really feel like I've seen him showcase any, like, other, like, movie cars either, really, even.
I think there are some, but I think they're always, like, movie cars that
were just real cars.
Yeah, like James Bond cars.
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm sure, like, he might have a Chevy Impala. Like, he might have the Supernatural car just because it's a Chevy. You know. That's the first car I think I want to build. That's not just, like, an armored vehicle, but... All right. Okay, now let's go ahead and start putting on all of these little pieces. Seems to go like so, and then we're gonna put a little bit of glue there. keep it in place. All right, there we go. Knocking things over. Dramatic. So very dramatic. All right, let's get stuff in there. There we go. All right, that's the first. Oops, sorry, the first of 4. The tumbler definitely could be very 40k-ish. You're absolutely right there. It is very much 40k-ish. All right, I do think once we get this next section done, we're going to go ahead and call it for today's stream. We've made some good progress, which is great. All right, let's go. There we go. All right, I'm gonna let those seal a little bit before we flip it over and do the next one. Where do these pieces go? I see. It's gonna go on this. Yeah, it looks like it has a specific orientation. Like so? Yeah, okay. Okay, there we go. Sweet. All right, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and move on to this side. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good so far as well. He does not own any? Okay, cool. Wonder if the actors have owned any of them. Seems like something they might like be like, yeah, I would like to buy that, please. Thank you. So I can forever relive my time as the Batman. I don't know if I played Batman, I would want to own one of the cars. Especially if it was one like the 60s one, where you could actually like legitimately drive it around and probably be fine. Not really sure I'd want to go and like drive the tumbler around on a day-to-day basis. Oop. All right, there we go. We're gonna let that dry. Looks fantastic. And I think with that, we're gonna go ahead and end today's stream. We got through 3 sections, which I'm feeling pretty good about. We have the treads next to build, so I'll probably be doing that off camera, but I think what we have managed to achieve so far is looking pretty good. I think this is where the men are going to end up standing, which is really cool. I'm not going to attach them physically to the model when I actually build them, but I do want to build them and actually use them in the actual video and kit and everything. So I think that'll be really cool. And maybe this might end up being the first thing that I end up putting like on a diorama down the line. I haven't decided fully, but I at least want to like get this thing built up. So far it's going very smoothly. I'm feeling very confident with this just because of the amount of times that I have done tanks at this point. I've done a number of them, at least 4. Yeah, I've built at least 4, or I guess this is the 4th tank. And I'm starting to feel really good about it and ready to start adding things in. So I might do a little bit more research, see about those weld marks that I was looking for, and then just see if there's any other things that I can add on to this tank as just extra stuff. Although it is going to be kind of busier already because it's going to have the figures actually incorporated into it. So that'll be really cool, and I'm looking forward to adding them in. Anyways, I am going to Marky, to answer your question. Such a tough question. Such a tough question between Poison Ivy and Catwoman. Personally, I think I personally like Poison Ivy more. I have a thing for redheads, and I also I really like the cartoon, the Harley cartoon, where she and Harley are like a thing, and they actually embrace that, and I just think they did her really, really well. So I think definitely Poison Ivy, but I do like Catwoman in regards to like her outfit. I love the pleather. And I do enjoy cats, so she does have a soft spot in my heart. To answer your other question about does Jack build model tanks, he does not. He mostly is more of a like sci-fi wargaming side of model building, so he like does a lot of our Warhammer building and those kinds of things, and a lot of the Warhammer painting, but I am more the scale modeler of the two of us, so it's mostly a me thing when I'm really, really enjoying it. Okay, guys, that I think is... Oh, a winter diorama for like Russia would be very cool. Absolutely. Alex, that is definitely on my list of eventually down the line. I do want to do... I want to get a T-34 and do a winter camo on a T-34. I think that would be rad, and doing like a winter diorama for that. Hobbies Unlimited, unfortunately, has not had the T-34 in stock for the Tamiya kits recently. So I may have to end up ordering that one online because I think it's a little bit of an older kit. Although I have seen the Dragon Tamiya 34, or the Dragon T-34 kit, which I've been somewhat tempted, but I know that those I think are a little bit more complicated, and so I'm just like, am I ready? But, you know, I did literally just say that I was feeling very confident with this, so maybe I am. Maybe I should venture out and try a different brand and just see, like, what the differences between Tamiya versus others are. Because I've never built any other brands other than Tamiya when it comes to scale models, unless it's, like, Bandai with Gundam specifically, but that's not, like, one-to-one. Like, they're still scale models, technically, but not historical scale models. Anyways, that is going to be it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me while I work on my Marder III M Tank Destroyer. And I will see you guys later this week, if not tomorrow, for either more building or possibly more Helldivers 2. We'll see. We'll find out. And then this Saturday, there will not be a stream here on YouTube because there will be a spicy stream over on my free page. So if you are interested in that kind of content, do make sure to use the link in the video description below, the link tree specifically, and you'll find your way over there. I am sure that you will. But that will be happening starting at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my free spicy page. So I'll see you then. Anyways, have a good rest of your day. Have a lovely hobby night, everybody, and I'll see you later. Bye.